Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we are going to be making some fried chicken and some homemade mac and cheese. Start off with, we are going to toast some seasonings. I got some black peppercorns here. Want probably about a teaspoon of those. I'm going to do basically a teaspoon of everything. Teaspoon of that, teaspoon of coriander, and a teaspoon of mustard seed. Actually, probably about half a teaspoon of mustard seed. There we go. And then we're going to toast that. You don't want to get too hot. You just want to toast it till it becomes slightly browned and nice and fragrant. Now we've got everything nice and toasted. Nice brown color to it. Really good fragrance coming off from it. It's time to let that cool down for just a minute. Now that they've cooled down a little bit, we've transferred it to a mortar and pestle, or you can use a spice grinder if you have one. I don't have one of those. I have this, so this is what I use. And you want to start out by just smashing everything. Once you get it all popped, you can give it a nice pounding action. And then we're going to grind it. Alright, to this we're going to add some kosher salt. That's probably about 2 teaspoons would be my guess. There's about 2 teaspoons. Some smoked paprika. That's about 1.5 teaspoons. Gonna add a good pinch of rosemary. About 1/2 teaspoon of rubbed sage. A good pinch of some marjoram. A pinch of some tarragon. A pinch of some oregano. About 1/4 teaspoon of some white pepper. 1/2 teaspoon of some cumin. About 1/4 teaspoon of some cayenne. About 1/4 teaspoon of some turmeric. A teaspoon of garlic powder. And about 1 teaspoon of onion powder. And then we're going to mix that all together. Alright, there is the seasonings for our chicken. Okay, now in a container with a lid, we added a cup of flour, and we're going to add our entire seasoning mixture to that. Put the lid on it, and we're going to mix that together. In the meantime, get your water started for your mac and cheese, and get your oil heating up for your chicken. We're going to give this a good mix around and be right back for the next step. For the mac and cheese, you can obviously use whatever noodles you like, cook to however you like them. I'm going to do some standard elbow macaroni. That should be about enough for 2 people. Alright, if you like yours al dente, cook it a little less than what it says. If you don't, cook it for the directions that it says. I like to cook mine pretty much just till the noodles are almost done, maybe even done, before I start making the mac and cheese. Some people prefer to do them al dente and take them out a little bit sooner. Water's boiling. We're going to set the timer. It says 8 to 10 minutes. Start with 8, and then we'll come back and check them. I saw a hack that said if you lay a spoon across your pot while you're boiling, then it won't boil over. And so far it seems to be working, but it looks like it's about to go over. We'll turn this down just a hair. That's what I usually do. If it's about to boil over, I just turn it down. But, I mean, it seems to be working. Crazy. In the meantime, while we got our noodles cooking and our oil getting hot, we're going to get our chicken ready. So I'm going to take these, throw them in here. Put the lid on. And get them completely coated in flour. Shake off the excess. Then we're going to put them in some egg wash. Roll them around real quickly. Get them all good and covered. Sometimes it can be difficult to get the egg to stick to the flour, but you want to make sure it's stuck real good. And do that so it don't stick to the side. Get our next one going. You can do this twice if you want thicker, crispier breading. Sometimes I do that. Tonight I just want a thinner one, so I won't be doing that tonight. Okay, our chicken is all ready. And we're going to start out nice and easy, and then get more aggressive. Flip it over. Just work that stuff around nice and good. Looking pretty good. I like to make sure they're not packed down in there to where they can't move. And then I'll give them another shake around. Those babies are ready to fry. I could have done less flour and seasoning. Usually I do a double, but today I just wanted to do a single dip because I don't want the breading quite so thick. So you could probably cut everything in half if you're just going to do a single dip. Once you've dumped your noodles into a strainer, you want to leave them in there, rinse your pan out. Because we boiled water in here, it's going to affect the season on it. So we want to get this hot, dried out. As soon as it's dry and warm back up, we're going to put just a little bit of oil in here. I know we're about to cook bacon, but if we don't do this, the bacon's probably going to stick. So pan's nice and hot, oil's nice and cool. Take that, get the bottom of the pan nice and coated. Up the sides. And then we're going to throw in some bacon here that I have sliced up. And cook it down. So I'm going to get our bacon's cooking. Our oil's come up to temperature. So I'm going to go ahead and give this chicken one more shake around. And we're going to drop these into that oil. Oil's at 350 degrees right now also, by the way. And beautiful. And we're going to let those cook for about 8 minutes. And then we're going to check them and see if they're 180 degrees inside or not. Our bacon is nice and browned and ready, so we're going to remove it onto a plate with a paper towel, napkin, whatever you want to call it. Then add about a tablespoon and a half of butter, because we've already got the bacon grease. Oh, also I turn the burner down on to low after cooking the bacon. Reduce the heat to low. I'm going to add some butter. That's going to help deglaze that bacon grease off the bottom of the pan there. I got to remember to speak up because this thing out sizzles. It sizzles over my speech. Okay, butter's melted. Before it gets too brown, we're going to throw in 2 tablespoons of flour. I have a half a teaspoon of pepper and about a teaspoon of garlic powder and onion powder mixed in with that flour. Now what we're making is what we call a roux. Okay, let that brown for just a minute. Okay, we're going to take it off the heat. And we're going to add a cup of milk to that. And then we'll bring that back onto the heat and let it thicken up. Alright, as you can see, our sauce is just thickening. I've got some Colby, some cheddar, and some Monterey Jack right here. We're going to throw into our roux, white sauce, whatever you would like to call it. And we're going to melt that in. And it sounds like our chicken timer just went off, so we'll check the temp on that. in just a second. In here I have mixed together some milk with some sodium citrate. This is completely optional. You don't have to do this part. I like it because it makes the cheese come out smoother and creamier. Alright, turn that on low heat. Get it mixed around, get that cheese all melted good. In the meantime, let's see if we're at, turn that off. And chicken is done. I checked it at 8 minutes. It wasn't done, so I set it for another 2 minutes. I also turned the temperature up so it was cooking on 400 instead of 350. Oh, look at that. Okay, slide this off the burner without spilling it and setting everything on fire. Get this mixed up again. If your cheese sauce looks too thick, add some more milk to it, but that looks just perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this bacon in here. Get it mixed around. And then in goes our noodles. Turn that off. I'm just trying to mix it in good, get all those cheese mixed into those noodles good. All right. Look at that. It's nice, thick mac and cheese. Some golden, crispy brown, well-seasoned chicken. Do a vegetable if you want with this. When I have both my kids, I usually do a vegetable, but when I only have one, a vegetable just makes it too much for us. So that's why a lot of times you won't see me make a vegetable with dinner, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I make my dinner with vegetables in it. But there we go. Homemade mac and cheese and KFC style fried chicken. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And go get your grub on.